Well, hello and thank you for joining me for another iTWire video. Today I am with James Brennan, Polycom Senior Director of Solutions Marketing APAC. Welcome to the program. Now, I just want to say that today...
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. That today we're actually recording this video using Polycom's own systems. Normally I have my iPhone in a tripod, but today we're doing it over Polycom, so this is a great way to actually demonstrate the capabilities. But James, although I imagine most of the audience will be well aware, can you just give us the short version of what Polycom does and the solutions that it offers?
Sure. Polycom is a leader in the unified collaboration space. And what that means is that we provide technology and solutions that allow our customers to really work together across distances as if they're in the same places. You get great quality audio and video collaboration, allowing users to share content and work on different projects and materials together wherever they are in the world, in different environments, whether they're working from home, working in the office, working around the world. We provide software and hardware solutions that enable people to work effectively.
Sure, and I mean, I've been to many Polycom events over the years, but clearly we're now in the realm of full HD, probably 4K. I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll be doing holographic projection, but we'll get to the future in a moment. I know that you've been at the Imagine events. Can you tell us, just again, for those who don't know, what those events are and what are the ones that are coming up that you'll be attending?
Sure. So Imagine is a series of events in Australia and New Zealand that are run by one of our major distribution partners called Westcon. These are events for their reseller partners as well as our end user customers. And it's an opportunity for these partners and customers to come in and see the latest collaboration solutions, hear about trends in the industry and how users are utilizing these technologies effectively, and to learn about what Polycom calls the workplace of the future. And these events, we've had very successful events last week in Wellington and Auckland. We ran one today in Sydney, and we have our Melbourne event next week.
And what day is that for those who might want to attend?
That is on the 24th of May.
And so I'll find out, but I'll put a link to that, to the Imagine conference, and if people want to go, they can click on that and find out more. So obviously, companies are always developing new products and services, seemingly faster than ever before in the race to stay ahead of the competition. And most companies have some sort of a philosophy. So what is Polycom's mantra with developing and designing new products?
Our philosophy is around the term that I just said before, the workplace of the future. And Polycom really believes that these technologies should enable people to work however and wherever they want. So the workplace of the future is really here today. It is changing the way that we work, and in Australia and New Zealand, it's absolutely changing more rapidly than other parts of the world. People are working from home, they're working remotely. Even the workplaces, the offices that we work in today are changing dramatically. There's the move towards open plan and activity-based working, and the ability to provide a great collaborative experience across distance in any of these environments is what Polycom is focused on. As you try to provide the technologies that work great in these different environments, you have to provide a consistent, excellent experience, great quality audio, great quality video, very easy to use. So the last piece is the workflow that people use in terms of getting access to these solutions. The industry has really solved those issues that you've talked about around audio and video quality, the ability to do that across any network, across any type of device, the interoperability. The issue now is really still around people using the technologies, making it so easy that they just walk in the room and the solution works the way that they want it to. Those are the things that we're really focused on, is providing those delightful experiences so that users want to use this collaboration and get the benefits.
Sure. And I mean, as you pointed out, we're in a couple of rooms at the moment. You're in Melbourne, I'm in Sydney. But you also mentioned any device. So easily, if I'm in my office or at home, we could be doing this. I could be on some sort of Polycom app talking to you in this office, and we could be doing it pretty much device to device or meeting room to meeting room anywhere on the planet.
Yeah, on a regular basis. I travel all over the place. I do video calls from my smartphone, from tablets, from laptops, different room environments. And whether that's a Polycom application or other applications from other partners and ecosystem vendors like Microsoft, the ability to pull all of those things together and the users to choose the device and application that works best for them.
So what are some of the new products and services that you're offering this year that really stand out compared to all the previous years?
Yeah, so we're really excited about a number of products that we announced a few months ago back for Polycom's 25th anniversary. We launched a series of game-changing products, and they're now beginning to ship in Australia and New Zealand. We're seeing great success and great uptake of these products. The first is an extension of Polycom's legacy and history as the best conference phone. The brand for Polycom, more often than not, is known for that triangle or starfish-shaped conference phone in the center of every conference room. We introduced the extension to that, which is the best device that we've ever launched, called Real Presence Trio. That is absolutely the world's best conference phone, but it's also much more. We've now extended that to have easily the ability to use the screen that's in almost every conference room and to push content and share collaborative content, as well as to do video right from the center of table on that conference phone.
Sure, and obviously, as one of the leaders in this voice, video, and telepresence space, you have huge amounts of customers. Are there any particular ones you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got great customers all over the world in different industries and different verticals. Some big areas for us are around healthcare and education, but we're starting to see a great uptick in places like manufacturing and engineering companies as well. So in education, a great customer that we have here in Australia is one of the state educational institutions, the K-12. And they're one of the largest education collaboration users in the world. They've got thousands of video endpoints spread across every school, and they do thousands of calls every day using our technology. We've actually just started a project with them to start integrating Microsoft Skype for Business, so to extend that into more and more devices and ecosystems. It makes a huge difference to be able to provide education to rural parts of the state and to bring in experts from around the world to talk to the students. In New Zealand, we've got a great customer called the Hawkins Group. They are an engineering company, started in New Zealand, but they've now branched out globally. And our collaboration technologies and Microsoft's have allowed them to move from a national company in New Zealand and become really a company that's competitive on a global scale. So our customers absolutely use our technologies to really make a difference in their business and to drive a competitive edge for them.
Sure. And look, we'll talk about your strong relationship with Microsoft in a moment, but who are your other strategic partners?
Yeah, so Microsoft is obviously a very large partner for Polycom, but we have very strong relationships with other unified communication vendors. BroadSoft is a very strong partner of ours, especially with our service provider customers, Genband, IBM, and then Polycom has a huge partner ecosystem of thousands of partners who do services, they resell our products, install our products, but then little specialized vendors that tie their collaboration solutions into Polycom. So we've got a tremendous ecosystem of thousands of partners.
Sure. And what are some of the other specifics that you're doing with Microsoft? You mentioned Link for Business, and in my next question about the future, I'm imagining you might do something with HoloLens, but what are you doing? What else are you doing with Microsoft specifically?
Yeah, so just 2 months ago, we did some very exciting announcements together with Microsoft that are going to continue to extend the great experience for our joint customers. So historically, Polycom and Microsoft have been working together for 10 years. We've developed some...
You've been working with them for a long time already, yeah.
Yeah, and we've got great solutions today, but some of the things that we're announcing are taking that even further and are the most exciting announcements that we've made. Microsoft is really driving customers and ease of use to the cloud. So one of their big pushes is their Office 365 suite of collaboration and productivity software, and Polycom is really excited to be part of that. And we've announced that all of our solutions are going to be fully certified for Office 365. Today, our voice desktop phones and the Trio that I talked about are already certified for Office 365 in the cloud. Coming up very shortly, our video devices will be fully certified to work in that environment, and will actually be running Microsoft user interface. So users will get that common experience whether they're using their Skype for Business client on their laptop or when they walk into a conference room using a Polycom video system. The buttons, everything that they press, the icons, look and feel, everything's the same. And that's really important because that drives adoption. Familiarity drives comfort, that people are comfortable using it, and then they drive that forward. But a couple of other things that we announced, Microsoft announced something called Project Rigel. Polycom is participating in that to develop specific dedicated room conference units for Skype for Business. So a full range of devices from small conference rooms to larger conference rooms, specifically designed to work with Microsoft Skype for Business. And lastly, very exciting for customers who already have large video deployments, we've announced the ability to provide a cloud-based video interoperability solution for Office 365. And basically what that means is it's the Polycom integration with Skype for Business that many of our customers have deployed in their data centers and networks today. That's now going to be available in the cloud for anything from large enterprise customers to small customers who may have only a few seats on Office 365. They're now going to get the same quality and access to solutions that large enterprises have enjoyed in the past.
And so just to look into the future, I mean, what does the future of collaboration solutions look like in Australia over the short term, the next 12 months, right out to the next 10 years? I mean, are there any learnings we can take or trends you can see overseas that will soon be mainstream here? And just to sort of extend that, you know, holographic projection is something that we see in the Iron Man movies, and we've seen, you know, demonstrations of a 2-pack, and we've seen people on stage doing various sort of things, but that's all sort of much more expensive, not so easy to do here yet. But there's also the things like the Microsoft HoloLens that I touched on before. You think that'd be an ideal thing that can do holographic.
Very exciting.
And on top of all of that, I remember seeing in the last 2 or 3 years one of these Microsoft videos of the future, and they had this wall where there was a bunch of kids in India on one side and a bunch of kids in probably some American school on the other side, and they were each drawing on the wall, like on your screens I see out in the foyer there, but also Microsoft has its Surface Hub. And, you know, as they write in English, it gets translated into, Sanskrit or whatever the Indian language is. And, you know, it's a complete wall into the other class. I'm wondering if you're doing something like that of sorts now with some of your educational things, but also how that'll look in the next few years.
Yeah, so in the short term, I think one of the big areas of focus is around that ease of use to help drive adoption. So if we can make it easy for users to walk into a conference room and just have the video work and those tools at their fingertips. So Polycom just released a capability where I walk in, my smartphone automatically recognizes that I've walked into a conference room, checks my calendar and says, James, you have this meeting right now. Do you want to join? Yes. And now I'm in that call. The video system that I've walked into is joined into that call, regardless of where I am. So that's the type of ease of use that we're driving. Single click, very easy to join, very easy to share content from your mobile devices, really driving that adoption. In terms of the experience, Polycom has also recently done the first production 3D video call. So it's not quite holograph, we're not quite there yet, but we've actually done a 3D video of a surgery. And this is really helpful for those really critical environments, either hardware engineering or things like surgeries where that three-dimensional view is really going to provide a significant differentiator. So those technologies are coming today, and I can only imagine that holographs might not be that far away.
Sure.
I can't say that we have that in the pipeline today, but it's definitely something that you can imagine coming in the near future.
And with the 3D surgery, did people need to put on glasses and use a 3D Polycom TV?
Yeah, so on the far end, they can use the existing consumer 3D technologies that are available today, but we did a special camera setup that really enabled the capture of that and the transmission of that to the participants remotely. Sure.
Now, I've got some questions here which sort of seem to be overlapping a bit about components to consider in collaboration strategies, modern workplaces and how they affect workflow, and the workplace of the future, and what sort of advice you'd give to industry. And I know you've spoken about that already, sort of in the things we've spoken about before. So, is there anything else you sort of want to add on top of that to bring all those things together? Considerations for collaboration strategy, modern workplaces and how they're affecting workflows, and advice to the industry to prepare for the workplace of the future.
Yeah, the real key for that is to think about it holistically and to think about the overall solution and not just kind of focus on one element of it. It really is providing those three elements of the workplace of the future that are going to drive the success, providing the right workspaces for the users, providing a great experience in all of those different workspaces, and making a very simple workflow, and choosing the solution that's right for you. So that could be remote users, or it could be all internal or external. It could be from different vendors. So it's really just about having an actual plan. Too many times we see customers who are just sort of trying to fit pieces together and try to force things into square pegs into round holes. You need to have a real plan, and that's probably a key piece of advice that I would give. And it's really important for our customers to have a strategy, because we've recently done a survey of a number of customers in Australia and New Zealand, and we found that 4 out of 5 businesses really have problems with connecting remote users and transferring knowledge. But 80% of them would say or think that they are collaborative. And that's kind of a disconnect. So it's about being honest with your capabilities and really understanding what your users are looking for.
Sure. Now, at this point of the interview, when I talk to people, I always like to sort of change tack a little bit and ask, inspired by Ashton Kutcher posing this question, which was just to ask if you could please share the best piece of advice that you've ever received to help you get where you are today. Yeah, so I've had a couple of mentors in my past who have kind of guided me a little bit. And one in particular, a former executive from Polycom, his advice to me was the main thing to be successful and to be innovative as an individual is to be agile and flexible and be open to new opportunities. So for me, that took the form of looking at an opportunity that presented itself to me about 8 years ago. I was a product director for Polycom and really looking for how I could understand our customers a little bit better. And an opportunity popped up for me to move to Australia and to join our sales team down here. And I looked at that as an opportunity to really take that advice and come down here, learn some new things, and really understand our customers and a new market better. That led me to the opportunity to move into an Asia Pacific role, where I've learned even more about the differences between all of our customers in different regions. And as part of that, I have to say that Polycom's technology has allowed me to really benefit from that, because I've lived in many different places. I've lived in Sydney, I've lived in Melbourne. I actually lived and worked out of Cairns for a few years, supporting customers all over Asia Pacific using our technology. So for me, it was that advice to be flexible, but then I've also been able to build in those tools, and they've allowed me to live flexibly as well, and to have that work-life integration. Excellent. So do you have any final messages for iTWire viewers and readers and for your current and future customers?
Yeah, so the one piece of advice that I would give is that, you know, our customers in Australia and New Zealand, they really need to think about how these collaborative tools can help their business. Again, in that research that we ran, we said that we found that 97% of our customers found that if they could be more collaborative, that would give them competitive advantage over their competitors. And these collaboration tools, they believe, will make them more collaborative. So my advice is for customers to look at these technologies as a way to really do something different with their business and to provide something new and unique and to set yourselves apart. Also specific for Australia, a recent Deloitte survey said that Australian businesses could potentially add nearly $100 billion to the Australian economy if they just collaborated better. So we hope that we can bring technologies, and our customers will consider that and hope to bring the Australian economy forward.
Okay, James, well, thank you very much. Best of luck with Imagine next week, and look forward to talking to you again in the future. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Alex.